Oops. Forgot the intro mute. Is not automatic anymore. It used to be when you did the timer countdown, right? It used to be automatic.
Yeah.
I don't know what they did. I think they introduced like something in a widget that might have broken that. I don't know.
That's why you guys, after Lawfully Chaotic, you keep saying you're still on mute.
Yeah. It's kind of crazy that way. Not sure why I closed that, but let me reopen that.
By the way, I pre-rolled all of my rolls for tonight, and strangely enough, they were all 20s. So you guys know.
Did you pre-roll them all at disadvantage?
Yes, and they were still all 20s. It was really weird.
I love how Charles gets fully into the dark horror background. I absolutely love it. You gotta step up your game, Bri. He's making you look silly.
I know. I've never been. That's one thing I've never been one for the backgrounds because I just don't have enough depth. Like this door you see behind you is literally an arm's length. So I just don't have enough space to set up a proper background. I've tried the green screen thing. It's freaking horrible. So I just choose to forego it.
You gotta get yourself a cool horror tapestry and just hang it over your window.
Yeah.
And then turn down the lights. Crack a beer and
like a dripping blood shower.
Might help if I properly, prepare and all those stuff. Things. So where we last left off, the party had regrouped at the Blood on the Vine Tavern, joined by Eric, the Cleric, a battered survivor from a previously doomed adventuring group. Ismark formally recruited the heroes for a perilous escort mission. They must take his adopted sister, Ireena, to the walled town of Valicky to escape the obsession of the vampire lord known as Master Strahd. The party traveled to the besieged Burgomaster's mansion, where Zoof's divine presence convinced a terrified Ireena to let them inside. She adamantly refused to flee the village until her recently deceased father received the proper burial at the church. Acting as pallbearers, the heroes carried the heavy wooden coffin through the muddy streets to the ruined village chapel. Inside, they found the maddened father, Donovich, weeping near the altar. The horror quickly escalated when the floorboards erupted and Donovich's starving, vampire-spawned son, Doru, attacked the party. Gartham magically put the grieving father to sleep to spare him the sight of the battle. The ensuing combat was brutal. Zoof crushed the spawn with radiant fire. Ludolf fully embraced his beast form, violently tearing the undead creature to pieces with his bare claws. With the spawn destroyed, the party rested in the church. During his midnight watch, Zoof witnessed a chilling event, the March of the Dead, where hundreds of ghostly adventurers rose from the cemetery and marched silently towards Castle Ravenloft. Come morning, the Burgomaster was finally laid to rest, and a grateful Donovich gifted the party's vials of holy water. The escort mission officially began as Ismark, Ireena, and the heroes stepped out onto the treacherous Old Svalich Road. As they traveled, Gartham's occult knowledge revealed that Strahd was magically scrying on them, his gaze fixed directly on Ireena. Reading her mind, the warlock also uncovered Ireena's deep hidden distrust of Ismark. Undeterred by the oppressive darkness and the red-eyed ravens watching them from the trees, Zoof began a booming, divine travel chant that pushed back the shadows, blanketing the party in holy protection as they delved deeper into the terrifying woods. It is always hard to tell morning from night here, but it is morning. The overcast haze, fog drifting in and out. Every now and then, off in the distance, the baleful howl of something, a growl in the underbrush. But here in the early morning of the dim light, as you guys pass from Bonrovia and begin your travels along the Svalich Road, everybody give me a perception check, if you would, please.
Ooh, right into it.
Boy, there is some gnarly background coming up.
Yeah, that's me. Hold on. Sorry.
No, that's fine.
19
for Lucian.
That would be the L train.
Oh, is that what that was?
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. I didn't know you had a train to hell near your house.
The Hell train. It kind of is. Depending on what line you take, it could be. Is this for you said perception?
Perception.
18 for Gartham.
18. And Ludolf, you got an 8?
Yep.
The sound of feet on the pathway are given from time to time to the sound, and every now and then, sometimes more distant, sometimes a little bit closer, but it wavers back and forth, almost as if they might be stalking the road, but always not quite getting close enough. The trees around you begin to hang with heavy sense of the decay of lack of sunlight, and the sense that the trees themselves are slowly dying but not quite allowed to die. You can even feel Ireena and her brother kind of watching the woods cautiously, some of you in back, some in front, and some in the middle, realizing that this is the only route to where you need to go. Every now and then a flock of crows or a murder of crows descend into the branches, and then immediately the howl in the background sends all the crows leaping up into the air. This place feels like death. This place feels like a place that is slowly being starved out of existence. The creatures that scurry around barely noticeable to you. The insect swarms overwhelming. Mosquitoes the size of a coin. Great mounds and swarms of flies kind of drift in and off the roads. So for Gartham and Lucian, give me a con save with advantage. Ludolf, give me a con save with disadvantage, if you would.
Alrighty.
For Gartham, that is a 19.
Okay.
16. 116.
I got a 7.
7. Ludolf, you immediately incur a point of exhaustion as the insects and the overall feeling of decay and dread of this place begins to weigh upon you. You find yourself from occasion looking into the miasma gas of the fog. Every now and then, you see a glimpse of a figure, feminine figure, watching you, wearing a red cloak and red hood.
Is this figure little?
Currently, only Ludolf sees it.
Oh, okay.
Where she's off the road?
She's out in the trees and fog, maybe a good 70 feet away from you. And like every time you blink to focus, she disappears. But then as you rub your eyes and you look off into another direction, she reappears. Always like 70 feet away. And it's just more of a feminine figure wearing the red cloak. No sense that you can see the face.
Oh,
So it's like that when you try to focus on something like in the dark, you can't see it unless you look like 20 degrees off.
well,
Even then, it's distorted and blurred.
Okay.
I'm gonna step out into the woods to get a little bit closer to it, to where I last saw her.
Gartham and Lucian, what are your passive perceptions?
13.
Hello.
What? Both of you 13?
Mhm.
Okay. Ludolf, you barely even notice the rest of the party continuing down the road as you step off the road a bit and get a little bit into the woods. And there you can see she's waiting near a tree. This time, the distortion of a face begins to appear. You think it's her, but it causes you to kind of like get a little bit more bleary-eyed as you stumble out deeper into the woods. Give me a wisdom save, if you would, please.
Red, is that you?
No response.
Oh, bitch.
Chops is like, fuck, I kill werewolves, I killed demons, vampire spawns, and now a hallucination's gonna kill me. This sucks.
I rolled a 19.
19. As you stand there, staring off in the direction that what red is, you suddenly watch as she shimmers out of existence, and you catch your breath. You're surrounded by swarms of insects and other things. You can feel their kind of like small needle pinching bites onto your neck and your arms. You begin to swat at them, trying to keep them away from you. Give me another con save, if you would, please.
A lot of saves going on in a really short amount of time.
Oh,
It's the
man.
Svalich Woods, baby. This place is evil.
That's,
Apparently.
8.
An 8. Take yet another point of exhaustion as you feel this overwhelming sense of chills and fever begin to take over your body. You look down at your arms covered with mosquitoes and bugs and bites. You see the welts beginning to form on your arm. You look back over your shoulder. You see fog and underbrush. You look to your left. You look to your right. More trees, more fog, more underbrush. The gas of the rotted forest kind of creeping ever closer towards you. You hear the sound of a giggling person off in the distance. You could see something hanging from a tree.
And this is just Ludolf that hears this, right?
Yeah, you guys haven't even noticed that he's disappeared yet. You guys are kind of focused on your surroundings, keeping to the trail. All of you focused on the every now and then you'll hear the distant, wolf howl off in the distance. And then every now and then you'll hear like the guttural growls of something nearby that seems to keep you focused, so you don't really notice that Ludolf is missing yet.
Okay.
Who is with the party at this point?
Say that again, Lucian.
Who is with the party?
Everybody. You started off on the road with everybody. Ireena, Ismark, Gartham, yourself, Ludolf, and Zoof, and Eric the Cleric.
Got it.
So you're all together.
Eric
Just-
the Cleric.
Yeah, Eric the Cleric. You're all together, just kind of trudging along this path. So far, everything seems okay, except for the occasional wolf howl off in the distance, followed by the near kind of growls in the underbrush nearby. Heads down, eyes up, kind of just plodding steadily along. Ludolf, you hear the giggling again, and you can see something hanging from the tree. It doesn't seem far.
I'm like full-throated yelling for Red at this point, and I'm getting mad because these insects are buzzing all around me and stuff, and I'm just, Red! Red! The wolf is coming!
That is loud enough for Gartham and Lucian. You hear Ludolf way off in the distance yelling that.
And I'll approach the hanging figure.
Yeah, you start approaching the hanging figure. You can see feet, legs, the shadowy outline of somebody wearing woodsman gear. Somebody with a large axe strapped to their belt. You can see the broken neck, the noose around the neck, their swollen features. As you get closer and closer, give me a wisdom save, if you would, please, Ludolf.
Another save.
Go.
Oh god, it's getting worse. That's a 5.
You stare up into the tree. The giggling gets louder and louder. Hanging from a rope and hanging from a branch, a heavy bough of dead wood off of a rather sickly looking tree. You see yourself hanging, neck broken, tongue swollen, eyes rolled back into your head as you're staring up at your dead self hanging from the tree. Take 9 points of psychic damage, if you would, please. You hear the giggling sound of a feminine voice. Ludolf? Is that you? Have you come to save me, Ludolf? I'm over here. Over here, Ludolf. Don't worry about that.
Who is that?
So, Gartham, now that you and Lucian heard Ludolf screaming in the distance, what do you two do?
Mage armor to start.
Yeah. Your mage armor begins to form over your body. You're mute, Brian. We can't hear you. Pry your device again. Doing that switch on, switch off stuff.
How's that?
Much better.
Okay. So I automatically just kind of just muscle memory draw both of my swords if they weren't already out.
Yeah.
Then I turn to both Lucian and Zoof and I just say, "We've lost Ludolf, right? Did you hear what I heard?"
Zoof looks around. You chase after that noise. We'll stay here. Ismark, Ireena, Eric, please gather around me. And you watch as Zoof's shield blooms with a powerful light of energy that kind of envelops all of them. I don't know what foul play is, but Gartham, Lucian, go find him quickly before we lose him.
Lucian
I
casts dancing lights.
You watch as the little globules of light begin to float around Lucian.
all right, and then I kind of look back at you, Lucian, and I'm like, let's check this out, and then I just start off towards where I heard.
Yeah, Gartham, give me a survival check. And I'll say you have advantage because Lucian's globule lights are kind of lighting the way for you.
Okay.
I'll follow you.
Okay.
I'm actually better at this than I thought I was. I have a +3. I'm like, oh.
Oh, shit. I got survival skills.
That's
Who
a
would've
9.
thought?
That would be a 19.
Nice. With Lucian slightly to your right, with his globules of light lighting the edge of the road, you could see where a set of footprints seemed to go in circles near the edge of the road and then suddenly race off deep into the forest. Off in the distance, you can hear Ludolf screaming. Ludolf, what does it sound like? What do they hear you screaming off in the woods?
Well, it sounds like Ludolf, but it's getting more gruff and growly.
Like a little more wolfy.
A little wolfy, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are these footprints? Are they? I mean, do they clearly seem to be Ludolf's?
Yeah, it's the only set. They seem to kind of stagger around, almost as if there was confusion, and then they suddenly kind of sprint off into the fog and woods.
But they're like boots, like human.
They're currently boots. Yeah, they're
Okay.
currently the boots that he would normally wear.
I'll take off. I'll look back quick to see that Lucian is still behind me, and I'll just continue to just follow that trail.
The two of you begin to bolt through the undergrowth and the forest, and you feel the swarms of insects kind of brushing by you, but you kind of back them aside. Both of you give me a wisdom save as you delve deeper into the woods.
Natural 20.
Nice.
14.
And that is 16 plus 6, 22 for me.
Nice. This forest feels aware. Almost as if the rotting sense of the forest is designed to create a sense of gloom, a sense of being trapped. But the two of you resist the urge just to come to the woods, and you continue to race deeper into the forest, hearing Ludolf kind of growl and yell for this mysterious person known as Red. Ludolf, as you stumble into a very slight clearing of trees that don't seem quite as rotted, they seem a bit more alive. Strangely enough, in the middle of that clearing, you can see a pool of water. And that pool of water looks inviting, clean, refreshing. The fog, mist, and the miasma rot of the forest is unable to approach this pool of water. And then you could hear the singing and the humming of a young girl. Their back is towards you. The red cape and the red hood pulled up, the cape drifting down. You can see that they sit on a flat rock in the middle of this pool, on their knees. With one hand, she playfully plays with the water while humming and singing a tale about a heroic woodsman that saved her life. A heroic woodsman that found her, kept her from harm, and saved her from certain death. And the lilt of this song begins to swarm around you, begins to kind of like run into your ears, your mind suddenly clear of the fog. This certainty begins to overwhelm you. You're almost positive that this is red. And the only thing that separates you from her is the water in front of you. Gartham, you and Lucian stumble upon this same clearing after 10 minutes of racing and running through the undergrowth. There you see Ludolf standing at the edge of a swampy, murky miasma of fetid water. A flat stone with a strange-looking creature on it. Long, bony fingers pointed towards him. Stringy, long, white, grizzled hair. One eye bigger than the other. The lower jaw fetid with warts, broken teeth. This kind of melodic, strange siren's call headed towards Ludolf. Ludolf has this incredibly passive and gentle look on his face, almost as if he's found something that he's been looking for a long time. What would the two of you like to do? It would appear that the creature on this rock has yet to notice you and Lucian as you kind of hide in the shadows of the two trees on either side of you, looking some 30 feet away at this unfolding situation.
Yes, my precious.
And don't do that. You're going to be copyrighted. Your voice is officially a problem.
Stupid fat hobbits. We hate you. We hate you.
Lucian messages. Is he within 120 feet?
Oh, yeah. You're about 40 feet away from where Ludolf is standing at the edge of the swamp.
Beams it right into his head. Ludolf, stop.
And do we see just him, or do we?
You see him, the fetid swamp, the murky water, about 40 feet in front of him, this bizarre looking creature on the rock with feminine features.
Oh, we do see the creature. We see the creature also.
Right.
Okay,
So what I described to Ludolf is what he saw because of his failed wisdom save.
Okay, all right.
Because you guys made your saves, you're actually seeing what's actually there. But the creature is so intent on guiding Ludolf into the swamp, it doesn't really notice the two of you hidden. You feel Lucian kind of like quickly cast a spell under his breath. Ludolf, you hear a familiar voice in your mind. Give me another wisdom save, if you would, please.
Sure. Oh, that was a good one. 17.
17. You recognize the voice as Lucian. Lucian's warning you about something. You look around. You don't immediately see him, but you suddenly watch as this beautiful, serene location begins to collapse in on itself. And there, this creature, 6 feet tall, hunched over, this like disfigured back, long, stringy hair, one eye larger than the other eye, jaw broken with teeth, this kind of a hissing demeanor as it's like using its fingers, and it seems to be all of a sudden it's angry, and it goes, "Who disturbs my meal?" It looks up to see Gartham and Lucian in the shadows behind. Go ahead.
I was going to say.
Yep, go for it.
I didn't want to interrupt, but as soon as I come up upon Ludolf, seeing him like obviously under some kind of a charm or magical effect, and seeing this creature, I would have immediately cast sleep on it.
Okay.
So I'll let you
That
determine
is
when that was.
We'll say that
timed.
goes off right away. So that's going to be a saving throw, correct?
Correct. It's a DC 15 Wisdom save.
Don't use such a malcontent magic on me. You watch as your spell fails to take hold of the creature. The creature then arcs a finger towards you and says, I want your soul. And you feel this energy emanate from her hand. Give me a wisdom save, if you would, please, Gartham.
I don't think I'm going to, because I don't think I'm going to like the results if I fail. Wisdom. Oi, that's a 6 plus 6 is 12.
12. You suddenly feel this need to fulfill this creature's request, this overwhelming desire. You kind of rip the upper part of your clothing apart, and you start to walk towards the edge of the fetid swamp.
Wait,
Lucian. What?
Hold on. Is this a charm effect?
Yeah, this is the command spell.
Okay. I might be immune to that. Does that count as a charm effect?
Let me check. You speak one word. Commander creature you can see within range. The target must succeed on a wisdom saving throw. It is forcing you to approach, which would be the effect. It is a first level enchantment. It does not seem to indicate that is a charm effect.
Oh, okay. Now I'm not immune. I have advantage on saves to avoid or end charm effects. So if it is not a charm effect, then yes.
Let me double check my
12
agent.
was the. I knew there was something.
Nope, it is not classified as a charm.
Okay, then apparently I fail.
So, Lucian, as you see Ludolf seem to fall out of whatever guise he was in, you can now see a transparent look come over Gartham's face as he is kind of like mindlessly kind of walking towards the edge of the swamp where this creature has its kind of bony fingers out and kind of like hissing and calling for Gartham to approach. Approach me! Approach me! You have an opportunity here, Lucian. What would you like to do?
In this darkness and gloom, I'm going to fire off a hypnotic pattern of a bright flame.
I love it. That's a save, correct?
It's a save versus charm, wisdom 16.
Okay.
Charm him back.
That is a nasty 2 plus 4 is a 6. That's going to fail.
So they're charmed, standing there doing nothing, and I beam into Gartham's head. Wake up, fool. Let's get out of here.
Yeah. You suddenly feel the effect of this creature waver and collapse from you. You hear Lucian's message in your mind, and it kind of like breaks the effect when in reality the concentration was broken because Lucian has managed to successfully charm this creature into a stupor momentarily. I believe it lasts up to a minute, I think.
1 minute.
1 minute for hypnotic pattern, which, Lucian, I think that means you're concentrating on that as well.
Yes.
Jeez, by the gods, what the fuck was that, man?
Ludolf, anything you want to do as you see this creature out in the middle of the swamp, some 30 feet in front of you? They seem to be kind of got this doldrum look in their eye. You hear Gartham kind of recompose himself. You can hear Lucian nervously in the background, holding his concentration on the spell that's keeping this creature charmed momentarily.
Yeah, Ludolf is totally freaked out because he doesn't know what the hell's going on. He was backing up to try to leap over the pool to get to Red, but he kind of falls on his ass, and he gets up and he starts looking around to let's get out of here. It's not her. It's not Red. And I think I'll start. I'll go to grab Gartham and like kind of pull him away.
Lucian
Start
will hold
pulling.
this and as they get out. And as they get out, as long as I can, I'll misty step out of there with my psychicness back to the road.
Yeah, so as Ludolf and Gartham begin to backpedal away from the edge of the swamp, you guys back up into Lucian. Lucian then holds his ground as the two of you delve a little bit deeper into the beginnings, back into the beginnings of the forest. As Lucian backs away as well, the minute kind of suddenly fades. The creature takes one kind of step into the water as if to approach the edge of land. Lucian, you have one final effect you can take here, as it looks like the creature's about to pursue.
All right. Let's try a phantasmal force.
Nice. What's the save for that?
It is intelligence at 16.
Intelligence at 16. That is a 14 plus 3 is a 17. She sees you cast. She immediately pulls a chunk of flesh and hair from her hand or from her head. She crams it together in between her palms, and she casts a swarm of pestilence and insects towards your direction. Lucian, give me a con save, if you would, please.
That's entirely disgusting, everything about that you just explained. That's horrific.
I didn't misty step out of there yet. That hasn't happened.
No, you haven't happened yet. No.
No, 12.
12. You take 14 points of necrotic damage as a blighted swarm of creatures and insects begin to swarm you. Ludolf, as you and Gartham are about to bolt even deeper into the woods, you look back to see that Lucian is being swarmed by insects and creatures. It seems to have momentarily stopped his like hasty retreat. Gartham, you can see the creature step off the stone through the water and is now cautiously beginning to approach Lucian. You have an opportunity here. What would you like to try to do?
How far is that creature away currently?
60 feet away.
60 feet. Okay. I would like to I would like to move my full 30 feet.
Okay.
I'm sorry, 40 feet.
Yeah, you're pretty quick.
Yeah. My walking speed is 40 feet. I would like to, I'm just going to bolt towards that creature, and then when I reach the end of my normal movement, as far as I think I can manage to go, I'm going to cast Misty Step. And
nice.
Like
peer right in front of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And as you peer and base with it, you can see the creature's now beginning to crawl out of its skin. Her physicality is slightly taller. There's necrotic aura that surrounds her. So as soon as you get in the base with her, I need you to make a con save, if you would, please.
21.
21. You feel this overwhelming urge of necrotic energy try to force its way into you, but you resist it, and you find yourself kind of like resisting this urge. What would you like to do next?
So I'm in base now?
Yep.
Oh,
so you're face to face.
Yeah. So that was
right.
both spell slots. So I would now like to I'm going to try casting sleep again.
Okay. Are you out of slots?
I am. So
okay,
I'm going to
give me a spell casting roll.
I'm going to just kind of like I know how to cast this, but I can't. Oh, Jesus Christ. I hope this is right. And just kind of like throw it out there. It's like reaching into the bottom of the bag and just tossing out whatever was in there.
Yeah, so give me a spell casting roll as you cast.
All right. Now, is this with my full spell attack modifier?
Correct.
Okay, because I'm casting a known spell at a level that I can cast it.
Correct.
Okay. That is an 11 plus 7 is 18.
Spell goes off. She gets a 19 plus 4, so that's a 23 on her save.
Christ.
She cackles at you and goes, "Sleep, my precious, sleep." and then she'll cast sleep on you. You get advantage because I believe sleep is a charm effect.
Okay. And that's wisdom, yeah.
Stupid hobbits. We don't sleeps, only when we're tired.
Advantage. So
No, it's not. Yeah, unfortunately, it's not a charm either. I realize it's part of the enchantment school, so it does not count as a charm.
So now I gotta re-roll because I rolled a 19 and a 4.
Sorry. Yeah, you can take the
hate
19
you.
in this case. I think that's only fair since I
No,
wasn't entirely sure.
I'll roll. I'll roll again.
Okay.
Let's keep it interesting. I'll roll again. This is wisdom, right? Okay.
Yes.
17 plus 6, 23.
Yeah, you feel the attempted sleep charm placed on you. It fails, but it disrupts her effect to keep Lucian tied down. Ludolf, you watch as Lucian is no longer being swarmed. Gartham is in base with this foul creature. Ludolf, anything you'd like to try to do?
Well, if it looks like we're fighting this chick, I'll charge her, and I'll leap at her, and I'll use my shifter ability to go into stage 2.
I hope
Yeah.
we're fighting her. Otherwise, I'm going to look like a real dick on social media after this adventure.
Basically, I'm jumping on her back, and like I'm going to try to chomp down on the back of her neck.
Yeah, I love
Nice.
it. As soon as you come into contact with her, however, I need you to make a con save.
That is a 10.
10. You are affected by her fetid existence. All attacks by you on her are at disadvantage.
Okay.
Fetid existence.
Then,
Oh God.
Like as you go
I
to
will,
chomp down on her neck, like one of the pubis, like the pubis pustules on her neck kind of explodes just as you go to chomp down, and it just like right across your face.
Oh,
That's a great word. Fetid. That is such a great word. Like, that's all you need to say. Okay, I know what that smells like.
Hey, anytime somebody is brave enough to call cheese feta cheese, which is slightly akin to the word fetid, I find it interesting. The word, for sure.
Does a 14 hit her?
14 does not. That'll just barely miss. Her armor class is a 15.
All right. Can I attack her with my axe then?
Yeah, absolutely, because you're in your hybrid form.
Yeah. I'm gonna recklessly attack, so it'll just make it a normal attack.
Go for it.
God.
There we go.
All right, that's a miss.
So as you recklessly go out with the axe, you find yourself half angry, growling, and just wiping the ichor and slime out of your face.
yeah, it's like when a dog is like hacking something up.
Yeah.
Lucian, anything you'd like to try to do?
He's during combat. Can I hit him with sleep? Would that work? Or
You can always try.
All right, let's try.
Are you casting sleep?
It is psychic slumber. It is a sonic.
Yeah, it's a psionic ability. So you target her with it?
Yep.
What's the save? Wisdom?
Wisdom at 16.
Okay. Ooh, that's going to fail with a 5 plus 4 is a 9. Suddenly, she crumples under the weight of Ludolf and Gartham being in base with her. She falls momentarily asleep, which allows both Ludolf and Gartham to gain additional attacks at advantage.
Tags. We want to kill this bitch. Any reason to keep her alive?
Uh-huh.
Quick! Fuck it, I attack. Can't wait for the answer. All right, so the first attack, I'm just going to use my swords. So the first one is my packed weapon, which is a +7. 17.
17 will hit. Yeah, roll for damage.
Okay, so the damage for that is 1d8 plus 4. So 10 points of slashing damage.
Nice.
And then with the scimitar, with the nick ability, I'm going to take my offhand attack with that at advantage, also because of Vex. So that is a 17 and a... Oh, natural 20.
Natural 20. Look at that.
There we go.
Max damage. Max your die and roll them again.
All right, so the scimitar offhand is... do get my bonus, so it's 1d6 plus 4. So it's 6 plus 2 plus 4. It's 12 additional points.
Nice.
And then finally, I will take my actual offhand attack
Yeah, go for it.
with the scimitar. So that is a... that's a 14. That one misses.
Barely misses. You attacked
Yeah.
with advantage, right?
No.
Because
Why?
she's considered prone.
Oh, then that last
Lucian
attack...
put her
oh,
to sleep, and
okay.
even though the simultaneous attack from you and Ludolf will awake her, technically she's prone on the ground for you to attack.
Okay,
So
then in that case, that last attack with advantage is an 18.
18 will hit. Roll for damage.
Okay, so it is finally an additional 6 points of slashing damage.
Nice.
And are we using action, movement, bonus action, or are we doing 4 AP? Or
Yeah,
how
I
are we-
originally thought we'd do 4 AP tonight, but I want to wait for the other two to come back.
Okay.
I don't want to do it all at the same time.
Okay.
Chris would kill me if he found out we tried it out tonight without him. So.
All right, perfect. Then
Mostly
that-
because it's a bigger
Yep.
experiment for both Eric and Neil, because I don't believe
Yeah.
Eric's played the style yet either.
yeah,
So I wanted to kind of do it with the whole group after I
Trev.
thought about it.
Trevor or Eric?
Trevor, yeah.
Trevor, yeah.
Eric the Cleric.
Okay, cool.
I
no
still
problem.
love that Eric the Cleric. I'm just going to
I
always
know.
call him
I
Eric
know.
the Cleric.
All right, then in that case, I am done.
Ludolf, you have an opportunity here. She's starting to stir, but she is prone.
Yeah, I forgot I got extra attacks too. So
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna
Level
give them
5,
a-
baby. Level 5.
Yeah, a couple of whacks with the old axe.
Axe
Up or
wax.
down. You fucking
Whack.
bitch! You tricked me. That is a natural 20.
Nice. Max the damage and roll it again and add your modifier.
Absolutely. Battle axe.
I can't believe. I think that's the first time I've crit fished and actually got one. Believe it or not.
So that is a 16 damage,
Nice.
and I'll roll my next attack.
I'm so used to level 10s getting like 45, 40, 38 points of damage.
Yeah, right. That's a 23.
That'll hit. Roll for damage.
That does 9 more points of damage,
Nice.
and I'm gonna try to bite her arm.
Yeah, go for it.
So that's a 18.
18 will hit. Roll for damage.
Can you make the noise like, you know? There you go. That's awesome.
That's 5, and she is grappled.
She is grappled as you slam your mouth onto her forearm. She hollers in terror and panic. You watch as her form, as you're chewing on her arm, you watch as it turns into a young teenager's arm. You look into the eyes of Red as she's crying in pain. Ludolf, why would you do this to me? Give me a wisdom save, Ludolf, if you would, please.
Don't listen to it, Ludolf. It's
That
trying to
is
control
a
you.
20. That
20.
is a 20. I
Yeah,
say,
you hear
Where the
Gartham
fuck is
and
Ludolf,
Lucian-
you dumb bitch?
All right, D6 inspiration. That's awesome. You watch as the facade of Red breaks away, and this hag just looks at you with this snarl as you grapple onto her arm. She brings up her long talons and slashes them down at you. I finally rolled a natural 20. Go fig.
Oh, yeah.
So that's going to automatically be 12 points of damage plus an additional 6 points of slashing damage. It's going to be 18 points of slashing damage. Lucian, you can see that Ludolf and Gartham are like fully engaged with this creature. This creature, though, looks very bloodied. That last kind of axe blow and bite from Ludolf definitely sent it back on its heels. It's still prone on the ground, being grappled by Ludolf, with Gartham kind of standing over the prone creature. Lucian has an opportunity here. What would you like to do?
He's going to use pyrokinesis and heat up the molecules and melt the head. Plus 8 to hit.
No! Please! Please, we're sorry. Please, we promise to serve the master.
Do I have advantage?
Well, you'd have advantage if you were in base with her, but this is a ranged attack. So technically it would be a disadvantage because she's prone.
All right, and it is.
10 it is. You watch, and what does it look like when you're psionic?
Nothing really. Their head just starts to heat up. The molecules in there.
Yeah.
Whatever's left instead of the semi-undead thing, and it takes damage that way.
So, around the space between all three of you. So Gartham, Ludolf is gripping the arm of the hag. You're kind of hovering over her. In that empty space between the three of you in this spot, there's a sudden rupture of heat that you feel like might have been meant for the hag, but it missed and kind of explodes like in between the three of you. Not causing anyone any damage, but definitely noticeable. You have a bonus action. Anything you want to do with your bonus action, Lucian?
What can I do? Anything?
Cantrip.
You can always do cantrips. All cantrips are bonus actions.
That was a cantrip.
Well, then you still technically have your action. You can cast a spell if you'd like.
All right. Let's see.
And remember, on your character sheet, you have all the tabs. So you have the all attack, action, bonus action, reaction. You can sort those, and it'll streamline it a bit for you as well.
This is a straight up magic missile.
Ooh, I love it. Yeah, roll for damage. What level?
Level 1.
Okay. Go ahead and roll the damage. Nice.
Yeah.
You guys watch as this little glow dart that kind of, I would imagine, since Lucian's like a big fan of the galaxy and stars and the idea of like planar travel, his darts would look like comets. So it's got a little fuzzy head on it with a little comet trail as it hits the creature like right in the chest. And it kind of, the force damage kind of causing her momentary discomfort. She's now looking very rough. She immediately stands back up onto her feet. She'll lash once at Ludolf and then lash a second time at Gartham. That is a 18 for Ludolf. That is a 12 for Gartham.
Missed me.
Okay.
That's a hit.
Ludolf, that's a hit. That is going to be 10 points of slashing damage. She turns to run from both of you. You both get an attack of opportunity.
She's still grappled.
Yeah, she's still turning to run.
Oh, okay.
Like she's turning to run, you've got her grappled, so her move is
Right.
0. But this gives you guys both an attack of opportunity because she's trying to run.
I got my swords out. It's the same thing.
for
First
it.
with the long sword. Oh wow, that's a 25.
That'll definitely hit. Roll for damage.
So that does. I don't have any pumpable stuff yet, do I? I'm thinking of Eldritch Smite. I don't have that yet. Okay, so that is. Wait, right? Why did it roll a d10? I'm sorry. Hold on. Let's just do this the old-fashioned way. Okay. Oh, look at that. 8. 12 points of slashing.
Nice.
Now, I don't get, because this is a reaction.
Correct. Ludolf, you're up. Take your attack
I
of
got a
opportunity.
16.
16 will hit. Roll for damage.
Sweet. That is a 10.
10. Is that your attack or that was damage, right?
Yeah.
So simultaneously, Gartham, your blade catches her in the back while Ludolf's axe comes striking down into her shoulder, splits her down to the spine. She tumbles dead onto the ground. You guys watch as her form begins to kind of shake and kind of begin to smoke a bit. And then as the smoke kind of clears, you see just a very simple kind of farmer's daughter or wife just kind of lying on the ground with all the exposed wounds. She's wearing kind of like peasant's clothing, but she's also wearing a tabard that looks out of place. It's this covering over her clothing that reminds you of the tabard that those undead creatures were wearing back in Bunrovia, that indicated she might have come from Strahd's castle. She lies dead in front of all three of you.
I'm going to take the tabard.
Okay.
Just fold it up and put it in my pack. And I'll search her for anything else that she might be carrying.
Give me an investigation check as you start kind of going through what little pockets and other things that she has after you put away the tabard.
19.
19. It's interesting. She's pretty much devoid of all possessions, except she has a token in her possession that was kind of like pinned to the garments that were tied around her waist, and it's an image of a wizard casting spells. The name that was on it has been scratched off, and that's pretty much all you find on her.
All right, I'll take that. I'll take the token also, and I'll put it in my pouch for now.
Okay.
Are you two all right?
I've got some damage, but I'm functioning.
Oh, yeah, I'm fucked up, dude.
Ludolf, what happened?
Whoa.
Like all of a sudden you just went with this stupid look on your face and you stood there. What the hell was that?
I thought it was her.
Who?
I saw her. My friend, Red. I've been looking for her.
Again. What? I start to say something, but I think better of it. I'm like, all right,
Yeah.
all right. We'll find
I
her.
was afraid because I heard the wolves.
We'll find Red. I promise you. All right? We will find Red eventually. Okay?
You promise?
I promise you. Ludolf, I promise
Thank
you.
Lucian
promise you.
beams at Gartham said, "I'm getting sick of Red already."
Do I know- Do I know if I can respond?
Yeah, I mean, you're familiar with the magic.
No fucking shit.
The three of you begin to gather yourselves up, and your trail is relatively easy to follow. Before long, the part that guides you the best is the fact that Zoof's shield is still kind of like a beacon on the road. He's got the others huddled around him, and they watch as the three of you come stumbling out of the underbrush. Seeing your condition, Zoof will immediately cast a spell. He will cast Cure Wounds at the 2nd level on Ludolf. Ludolf, you get 17 hit points back. Ireena comes running over to Gartham and sees that he's wounded and sees that Lucian's wounded.
I'm not wounded. I haven't a scratch on me.
Oh, that's right. She'll see that Lucian's wounded. She kind of gently lays her hands on his wounds, and Lucian, you get 12 hit points back.
All right.
I mean, not that I wouldn't mind a massage and all, but don't waste the magic on me because I'm fine.
She looks at your mask and goes, "Oh, yeah, I'll go help him."
Oh shit, right. Sorry, I forgot I had it on.
But all of you kind of like stand there in the middle of the road, kind of listening to the backdrop of the howls and the growls, the winged ravens kind of disappearing off to the edge. Ismark looks back at all of you. We must press forward. We are almost to the pond. Once we're there, we can take our rest.
We just had a pond.
How much further is it?
He would describe the Tser Pool as being maybe another hour away.
All right, well then let's get to it because the sooner we get there, the better at this point.
Do we believe him?
Give me an insight check.
22.
Nice. You get a sense of nervousness. He does seem like he's telling the truth. He realizes that you guys need a bit of a rest before pushing on to the Vistani encampment that he knows is up ahead somewhere. He's just not 100% sure where it is. The map is more of a guide than, being, accurate. But as far as you can tell, he seems like he knows what he's doing.
That map,
like maybe this
map,
beginning part of the journey is something he's familiar with.
Okay. That map detail you just said is that it's more of a guide. Is that from a distance standpoint or also just a general
general layout?
Okay. So
yeah.
All right.
They're not professional cartographers by any means. This is
okay. Yep.
their understanding of what they think the region is like for them.
Okay.
So both distance and journey, like you get the feeling to get to the lake where the Vistani are, could take some time. But this is like the first opportunity you have that he seems to think there's a rest spot up ahead, maybe 3-4 hours up ahead on the main trail.
Wait a second. You just said it was a fucking hour. What are you trying to pull here?
Well, we can either try for the falls or the pools. I just think we need to get there first.
Fine, just lead on. Be quick
And he
about
kind
it.
of pulls out a short sword, and you watch as Ireena pulls out her long sword, and everyone's a little bit more on edge. Zoof keeps his shield more active. After you guys kind of gather yourselves together, you begin kind of trotting down the road even further. As you continue for the next hour or so, you can't help but notice that the trees aren't as bad at this point. They start to get a little bit better. There's the sense of sound of water. You could see a waterfall off in the distance. It's kind of burbling a mist up and over into the woods. You can also hear the sound of laughter.
Are we at the base of that waterfall or are we at the top of the waterfall?
You're not near enough to be at the base. It's just you could see it off in the
No,
distance.
but right. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I just mean, can we tell? Is it coming?
You're at the
down
below angle, so
Okay.
you're below its angle, so you can
That's all,
see
yeah.
and hear like the mist burbling up in the air. It's maybe about a mile or so
Okay.
away as
Yep.
you kind of come into yet this other kind of clearing.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
Here-
Is just, or were we at the bottom or the top? So
At this point, you guys find yourself near the edge of this cool pool of water. You kind of all check each other to make sure you kind of all see it because Ludolf had already kind of experienced something similar. And not only do you all see it, but you see a bunch of pavilions, very colorful pavilions, blue, red, yellow. One particular pavilion is quite large. You can see a Vistani wagon with some ponies parked off to the side of it. You can hear the laughter of people kind of enjoying drinks and food. You can see very colorful, braggadocious looking people that are drinking and dancing near the fire that's kind of lit in between, and all of them, they eye you as they see you come in. Ismark and Ireena recognize them as Vistani travelers, which allow you the opportunity to come out of the darkness and into this rather bright point of the trails. The Vistani, kind of a couple of them raise glasses towards you. One Vistani in particular points towards an empty section near the fire, and you kind of hear, you are more than welcome to come in and take a load off. You look traveled. Bonrovia, I think, yeah? That is where you come from?
That's right.
Well, come, have a bit of food. Sit by the fire. Don't let this sour woods fool you by any means. It's just the place. We are not Bonrovians. We are Vistani. We do not allow such things to exercise our fears. Please,
Insight
come
check.
to the fire.
Insight
give me an
check.
insight check, yeah.
Just to see, like, is this a trap? Are they lying, or is this?
Yeah.
That would be a 22.
This kind of aligns. Sorry.
I'm sorry, 21.
21. This kind of aligns with Ismark's wanting to get her to the Vistani village. These are not those that were cowards and hiding back in Bonrovia. These are joyful, kind of rambunctious people. They love to travel. They love the open road. You get the feeling if they could sell you a little snake oil and make a little bit of coin, they probably wouldn't mind doing that to you. But you don't get a feeling that they are connected to the horror of this place. This feels different
Okay.
to you.
All right. Well, thank you for your hospitality. We certainly will. We're traveling in these parts is exhausting, to say the least.
It certainly is. Please sit down, enjoy a meal. And with that, you guys can go ahead and click off a short rest if you'd like to.
Okay. So, I mean, we didn't have any intention of going further than this at this point, right?
Ismark is in the process of trying to get his sister to the village. These are
Wait,
travelers. This isn't the village.
Oh, okay. That's
Yeah,
'cause
no,
it
this is not
They
the
are trying to
village.
get them to these people, but just in a settlement, not just on the
Correct.
Okay, gotcha.
So
All right.
we're along the edge of the pond. Is that right?
Correct. You're right on the edge of the Tser Pool.
And what is
Not-
what is that village name again?
Valaki.
Okay. We're trying to get to Valaki. I assume that you know probably the quickest and safest way to get there.
We know some paths to take. Unfortunately, the safest route for you to take is to stay on the main road. Do not stray into the swamp. Do not stray off the road. Your best chance is to take this road continuously. You will come to some bridges that cross rivers and other pathways. Eventually, you will see the grand lake of Lake Zarovich. There, on the banks of the lake, you'll find the village of Valiki. That is where we are all from. We are traveling to Bonrovia to sell some goods, although we do not hold out much hope. They are he kind of leans in towards the three of you. They are a simple people that seem to only want superstition, if you catch my meaning.
I do catch your meaning, and we've experienced the same.
East of here, you'll find the Tser Falls, not too far. Maybe if you spend the night here, you could journey there in the morning. From there, the main road will take you to Lake Zarovich, and there on the banks, you'll find our village, walled, well secured, valiant Valaki that will protect any that dwell there.
And about how long does it take to get there from here on foot?
Maybe 2 more days from this journey, from
2
this
days.
spot.
And if we did indeed want to take a shortcut, Put the danger level aside. But if we did want to take a shortcut, how much time savings are we looking at?
Not much. It would take you through the barren hills of Mount Gracchus, and you do not want to go that way.
So are we looking like half the time, or are we looking like a couple few hours cut off?
You could maybe save a day's travel, but it would mean walking through the fields of dead and the nightmares that wander near his place. More
Right.
importantly, it takes you close to the windmill, and you don't want to go to the windmill. That is the place that people wander to and never seen from again.
Is that like an actual windmill?
Aye, it is. It's where you grind flour and do the things that farmers do to make sure that flour is available for bread and food and sustenance.
So
But I think you're better off sticking to the road. Take the extra day. It might be a bit more safe if you do.
all right, well, I appreciate the information. And,
Your friend there, with the fabulous cloak with the stars and galaxies and things on it. What is your name, good elf?
Lucian, and he creates the dancing lights again around the party.
He kind of like in Vitali language starts to talk to the other Vitali around the pool. They seem excited and nervous at the same time. Aye, a wizard. It's been a long time that we've heard of a wizard in these parts. The last time we saw a wizard, he did not do so well when he approached the master's mansion.
What happened to him?
What do you mean?
Him and 8 of his closest companions led an assault of peasants up to the mansion. He was convinced that he could easily destroy the creature. Those that fought with him perished. Those that traveled with him were never seen again. And the wizard, frankly, was never heard of again either. No one knows for sure what happened. It was unfortunate. There was so much hope. Even Bonrovia had hope that this wizard would do battle and destroy the creature Strahd, but to no avail. Once again, that foul creature lives up in his manor, walks his towers, and calls and consumes hope as if it's a food to live off of.
What
long-
what does this creature do? What does he want? Why does he haunt this area?
And no one knows for sure. He goes by the name of Master Strahd. We think it's an ancient family name. We're not entirely sure. But the land began to fall ill and rot maybe a year or so ago. Quite recent, to be honest. And every time you try to leave this area, this region, this Barovia area, whether it's the village near the lake, as soon as you drift near the boundaries of his domain, the fog boils in, chokes you, kills you if you stay or linger too long. There's no way out. This place is a trap. We wander between small homesteads, farmsteads, Bonrovia down to our south, out to the village of Veliki. Sometimes we make our way out towards Lake Baratok, but we survive as best we can.
You said the land started getting like sick like about a year ago. How long has this Strahd feller been around?
Well, he's been around for a long time, but but his mansion began to show signs of illness. Whenever you saw him, he only came out at night. Before, he was well known to the valley, well known to the people here. It seemed that he descended into madness for some reason. You notice as he's telling this story, Ireena is shifting very uncomfortably as she's like listening to him spin this story. Every now and then you notice she makes almost like a religious sign across her chest or holds onto a pendant around her neck, almost like talking to herself. All the while, Gartham, at any given point, you know that this Strahd creature could easily scry on wherever Ireena is. So you're kind of both conscious of the story and the rather uncomfortable nature of Ireena as the story is being told. I would say all three of you would notice it.
Okay.
You can call me Manny, by the way. What are your names?
My name is Gartham Doom.
That's kind of a cool dichotomy there. Your good first name, but Doom, is that a traditional family name, or is that what you hail from?
You know, I don't rightly know, actually. I think it's a family name, but whether or not it was true family name or one of my ancestors created it, I don't actually know.
Good elf. Where do you hail from? You have the person who has traveled. You have the personage of someone who's traveled much and come from afar. Your magic kind of speaks your language. Where do you come from?
Hold on. Wrong.
Think Lucian's internet connection just went a little wonky.
Lucian just clicked the wrong button. No. Sometimes my magic takes me into dreams. So often that I don't know if I'm in a dream or a nightmare like this.
Ah, I see. And woodsman, I recognize the clothing that you wear. Where do you hail from?
I'm washing myself in the pond, sort of splashing.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll just, I'll get around.
He's from all over these parts.
And not these parts.
And few and far between, and over hill and under dale, and through the forest to grandmother's house. We don't know where he's from. It's strange.
I never really left the village until recently, so, not here.
Well, you're more than welcome to spend the night with us if you'd like. You watch as a couple of the others come over and set drinks and food down in front of you or near you. Little short tables that are placed in between these kind of luxurious kind of pillows that they seem to lean or lie on as they tell stories and drink and eat their meal. There's no real sense of fear from these people. You're not sure why. They seem to not only enjoy the conversation, but they seem eager to tell the stories of their travels. And every now and then, one of the Valaki kind of wanders by, hands you a mead or a wine or a beer, something to drink. They tell a story of how their village used to be this wonderful place that people would travel to, some of the best fishing. But now the lake is slowly dying. A sense of a cursed land is kind of overwhelming the populace of this valley. Another person wanders over and tells a story of a mysterious wizard that traveled with 8 champions to take on Strahd, but never seen from again. Once again, kind of retelling of the same story that Manny tells. Another comes over and tells a story of how even the village of Bonrovia used to be this beautiful, wondrous place that people would travel to, and it by far has borne the majority of the foul curses and contempt of Master Strahd. Every now and then sending out swarms of dead creatures and wolves to do harm and do battle. Suddenly, for whatever reason, he started to become very obsessed with the idea of taking Bonrovia. And once again, as these stories come and go, the nervousness of Ireena kind of gradually begins to build. And you can tell every now and then she kind of scratches at her neck. Her eyes kind of close briefly as if she's almost drifting off to sleep. And then one of the Vitali kind of walks over. You should go speak to the old woman. She knows far more than we do. She whispered to us this morning that strangers will arrive and bear questions as well as bear opportunities of vengeance. You watch as the Vitali look over at the largest of the pavilions, a great kind of blue pavilion that stands out. All along the surface of the pavilion, you can see all this strange writing. You can see like ghostly images that kind of seem to move on their own. And the flaps of the tent are partially open. You can see a soft kind of white glow permeating from the interior of the tent.
I just turn to him and I say, I assume in there?
Yeah, that's Madame Ava. I'm sure she has something to tell you. She seemed to have the portent of your arrival. Perhaps, who knows? Maybe she can tell you a story that might give you guidance. If you and your friends continue to travel towards our village, it's only a matter of time before you cross paths with things that Strahd sends out into the night. And as he said, like in the moment he says that, kind of off in the distance, the whole encampment briefly stops talking, ears up in the air, eyes pointed towards the edge of the woods. But the fire kind of gets a little bit brighter. The sound of their laughter gets a little bit more haughtier as they kind of go back to what they're doing, shrugging shoulders, accepting the fact that this is just the way life is.
Hello, righty then. And I start walking over to the tent, the large tent pavilion.
Anybody else going with Gartham at this point?
Lucian will go sit by Ireena with the cat. Nocturne is the name.
Okay.
To make sure she doesn't go anywhere or somebody comes back to bite a neck in the night. Because Lucian doesn't sleep, he just sits there and buzzes.
Yeah, he meditates. She watches you sit and she sees the cat kind of curl up alongside you. She smiles at you and, your cat is, may I? Does he or she have a name?
Nocturne.
Nocturne, the creature of the night. That's interesting. Nocturne? Nocturne? You watch as the cat leaps onto her lap, curls up into like a half moon ball, begins to purr and stretch as it kind of quickly falls asleep on Ireena's lap. And you watch as the stress of the travel and the stress of the stories immediately kind of leaves her face. Lucian, why have you and your friends come here? And I don't mean with us to take me to the safety of the village. I mean, this land is cursed. Why would anyone willingly come to this land?
We were drawn here for a purpose. And I think we are here to cleanse the land and bring it back to normal. But we don't know who brought us here.
Did you ever feel that there was almost like an influence in your mind when you found your journey to this place?
No, I did not feel that my mind or something or someone was telling me. What about you? Is somebody in your mind telling you to do something? I can run back thoughts on her too.
Yeah, you can either do surface thoughts without a save, or you can try to delve deeper into her thoughts.
This an inoffensive surface thoughts.
Well, she has to roll a wisdom save to avoid if you go deeper. Surface thoughts are more about emotion. Deeper thoughts are more about what they're specifically thinking.
Let's go deep.
Okay. That is a 4 + 3, so that's going to fail. You immediately push up against her surface thoughts as she begins to speak with you. There's emotion of fear, anger, and frustration that you push through. And as she's telling you a story about how she fears as if she's being watched, her inner thoughts tell you she's certain that she's being watched. That no matter where she hides, no matter where she goes, he always seems to find her. And that those that seem to either seek protection for her or travel with her almost always inevitably become victims of this creature. And she's terrified of what that third bite means. This powerful creature that arrives out of nowhere, gets into her mind, succumbs her mind, and then she wakes up the following morning with limited memory of what happened and always reaching at her neck. And most recent, maybe 2-3 nights ago, a fresh set of bite marks before you guys arrived in Bonrovia, panicking her brother. So all these thoughts are rolling around in her head while she's also kind of telling you a story about her fear of how she feels like she's always being watched.
So you've been bitten twice already. And then you think that the third bite means it's all over for you. And why is this person, why is the Baron so interested in you?
I don't know. The people in Bonrovia seem to think that for whatever reason he's fixated on me because maybe I'm reminded of his wife, and he thinks that by pursuing me somehow that's going to bring her back. I don't even understand how she died. I don't even know or understand the story. Bonrovians are, well, they're such superstitious people.
Do you know the wife's name? Do you recall?
I am not familiar with her name whatsoever. Not even sure, to be honest with you, if she's even real. I sometimes feel like that maybe she is a creature that was, I don't know, maybe thought of, or I don't really know. Maybe they've made up these stories to somehow justify whatever he is. Whatever they've done to him. I've done nothing to him. I've been nothing but a victim to all of his... She kind of starts to cry a little bit. She realizes just yesterday, or just early this morning, she finally got to bury her father, who stood by her side, taught her how to fight. And the two of them and Ismark have been steadily fighting off the hordes that have been rushing towards the manor night after night after night until her father finally fell. And with her father's death, she tells a story of how Ismark now pleads with her to travel to Veliki. He seems convinced that the people there are stronger, braver, and that they'll provide the protection that she needs to keep her safe.
These other adventurers that are deceased, did you travel with them before? Ismark?
My stepbrother told me of the wizard and the peasants that gathered and tried to fight Strahd. But I had no knowledge of what they were doing out there. Unlike my brother, I tried to convince the wizard. It was foolish, maddening. By then, Strahd had already visited me one time, and the overwhelming sense of his power felt more than I, or even they, could possibly handle. But his power is the mind. He gets into your mind. He plays with it almost like a dough before bread is baked. Like he's making something, reconstructing something. His mind is deep in your mind, and he doesn't seem to be challenged in any way when he does this to you. His power feels as if it is peak, a sense that he is absolutely certain that what he does is meaningful and its intent is meaningful. But what's strange, he always whispers at first before he takes over my mind. He means me no ill will. He means me no harm. He calls me Tatiana or Tatiana, and then never really refers to me by my real name, just calls me this woman's name. Perhaps that is the woman that was once his wife.
Tatiana?
I think so. That is the name that he has said before to me.
Do you know anything about stories or fables or tales about...
Gartham, you're not there. You're going towards the tent.
Oh.
You walked off. Ludolf is like Ludolf is like peasant bathing in the pool
Yeah,
of water.
I
You
forgot.
walk up to the tent.
Sorry.
Lucian's sitting with Ireena having this conversation.
Is there
Sorry.
people like dancing and playing music and stuff?
There's not music, but there's the sound of like what you would call folk singing, like the soft sounds of a folk song in the background, maybe the soft drumming of a drum. They seem eager not to make too much noise, but they're almost kind of using the distraction of their low singing and laughter as a means to kind of keep the darkness at bay.
Gotcha.
Lucian asks her about the stepbrother. No, he asks about the family members of the Baron. Are there any other family members that are Strahds?
Not that we know of. He sits up in that mansion by himself, looking down from the tower at night, always staring at the windmill on the hill, always calling out towards it, calling out towards the windmill as if it's going to answer to him. Most of us think he's gone quite mad, and, well, whatever creature he's become, I fear for my safety, I fear for my life, I fear for all that tried to help me in these endeavors. She places her hand on Lucian's hand. I never take the opportunity to say, Lucian, thank you. I want to thank you and the others for trusting in getting me and my brother to safety. Maybe there's more there, more to all this. Maybe it's fate that has brought you and your friends here. Maybe this is an opportunity that we will finally understand how to destroy and get rid of this creature.
Lucian takes his cape and covers her to keep her warm. The cat in the lap, and comforts her as we talk more. And, perhaps we were brought here for a reason. And that might be to help you and the land.
There's a feeling of the stress kind of releases. She kind of leans her head on your shoulder and is immediately like asleep. The sound of the cat, the sound of the folk music in the background, the sound of your voice, just allow her to finally relax and drift off to sleep. Zoof is already leaning up against a tree, watching the singing, watching some of the laughter and the folklore singing around the fire. Eric the Cleric is kind of keeping a watchful eye on everything around him, almost as if he's been in this situation before. This idea of the calm before the storm. Ludolf, what are you doing with your time before we switch over to Gartham?
I think I'm just sort of like socializing, and just drinking and eating, listening to the stories, laughing, really just having a good time.
Give me a persuasion check for starters.
Okay.
Ludolf.
I think I get a -1 to that. So I got a 10.
10.
Mm-hmm.
The first person that you run into has a small kind of like bottle in their hand with a little bit of ribbon wrapped around it. The liquid's like a light yellow and blue liquid. It's got the image of like a bicep going like this with little lightning bolts coming off the bicep. The woman comes up to you and goes, I don't know that you need it, dearie, but I have this ointment here that I think you might love. It'll give you virility and strength if you drink it in a pinch. What do you say, dearie? 20 gold and it's all yours.
20 gold?
Oh, it's a bargain, I assure you.
I dump out my pouch of gold and I start to count it.
Can you count to 20?
Is this
Can you not count to 20?
I have I have 30 gold. I say, is this 20 gold?
She looks at, oh, dearie. No, that's 1 gold too many. Here, you keep this one. I'll take this gold here.
Thank
So
you.
she leaves you with 1, and you get the feeling that maybe she only charged you 19 gold instead.
What's it taste like?
Oh, you don't want to take that now, dearie. This is for when you're in a pinch, when you and your friends are at your direst need and you need that big extra boost of strength to keep you going.
Oh, thank you so much.
Of course, dear. And she kind of wanders off into the crowd. Somebody hands you a pint of beer. Another person hands you a plate of food. And before long, Lucian, as you're looking out from underneath your robes and the sound of Ireena fast asleep, you can see Ludolf has kind of like begun to join in the kind of like stomping and clapping of the folklore kind of musical story that is being sung and hummed to those that are watching. Every now and then the storyteller kind of rises to the occasion and describes the entirety of the peasant revolt, the wizard climbing up the cliffs and the ramparts of the tower, the describing of this vicious battle that took place at Strahd's manor, and this back and forth, and tells it kind of like a song, and tells it in such a way that it's being told in a very folklore way. Gartham, you can hear all this taking place behind you. You begin to kind of creep forward towards the open flaps of the tent. You hear inside the tent.
What's wrong, Gartham? Are you afraid to come in and learn the truth of your travels?
Fuck no. That's what I'm looking for. Truth.
You kind of duck your head in through the flaps into the interior. You see this old, wizened woman just kind of sitting there, kind of at a table, round table with some chairs around it. There's a candle sitting in the middle of it, giving off this purple light, and a yellow flare of luminescence kind of burbles off of it. You could see little tchotchkes and objects kind of floating in the air around her. And then as you look around and look back at her, you see a stack of cards on the table. Well, why don't you come on over and we'll see, Gartham, what is in your future?
Are those what I think they are, ma'am?
These are the tarot cards that I use to weigh in on the many possibilities of this world.
I'm gonna do a quick insight check on her, just to see.
Go for it.
More so, like how crazy she is.
Yeah, fair enough.
That would be an 18.
She seems old behind her visible years. Her voice is one of a seer, a soothsayer, someone who is familiar with the understanding of the mystics of the world. You get the feeling that this is the kind of impromptu leader of this group. But they don't knowingly kind of know it. They just kind of succumb to her soothsayer magic. She probably has ingratiated them with the occasional tale that's come true, or to this point, maybe through her tarot readings, allowed this particular group to survive so far by dropping hints of how to avoid the threats around this valley. There could be some truth here.
All right. Sure, why the fuck not? I'll sit down across from her.
So
how does this work? Do I ask you questions, or do you just draw the cards and claim
before we get started, I would like to ask you a question, Gartham, about your soul, of course. How did you find your way to this valley? What led you here?
I'm afraid that's a much longer story for a different night.
Truth is the measurement of coin. I don't need your money. I need your truth. If you lie, or if you are a falsehood, then these cards will not speak the truth that you wish them to speak you. But if you garner me the truth of the darkest parts of your soul, the travels of your roads, you tell me a story of you, and I draw a card and see what the fates have in store for you, Gartham, and your friends.
Okay, sure.
So, I will allow you to pull the first card. You watch as faster than what should be normal. Her hands are a bit of a blur. The cards go back and forth, but it's almost like she never actually touches them. Every now and then they float around her and then reassemble into a deck. You then watch as the deck folds up in front of you. Almost, you don't even remember her placing the deck in front of you. They just kind of are there. You then watch as the color of the candle switches from purple to a luminescent yellow. Well, draw a card, sweetie. Let's see what the fates have in store for you and your friends.
All right. I thought you needed my story first.
No, I'm going to give you this one. And then, if you like what you see, perhaps that will allow your story to become more, how shall we say, interesting.
All right. Very well. And I will pick a card.
Yeah, the moment you pick a card off in the distance, you can hear the howl of a baying wolf.
That's a neat trick you got.
As you, oh, thank you very much. As the card flips over, it is a 4 of stars. Madame Ava raises an eyebrow. She sees the card. Ah, this card tells of history. Knowledge of the ancient will help you better understand your enemy. I see a fallen house guarded by a great stone dragon. Look to the highest peak when you see this guardian. Now, regale me with a story, Gartham, before we pull yet a second card.
Is anybody taking notes on that?
Well, remember, the recording will
Okay.
definitely summarize it for you.
Okay. All right. Just want to make sure. So you want to know my darkest secrets of my soul? What brings me here? Well, I know what brings me here, but I don't know why. And I suspect I won't for a while. As you can probably tell, as I can tell from you, I am versed in the arcane arts and molding the weave to my wishes.
But you carry this power like you're got death looking over your shoulder.
Well, and that would be because of what I've given up to gain this power.
Oh,
And where it comes from.
we always give up a little bit of ourselves for power, I think.
Aye.
Why don't you draw another card, Gartham? See what the fates have in store.
Let's.
As you pull the card and flip it over. Ah. The one of glyphs. The monk. This card tells of a powerful force of good and protection. A holy symbol of great hope. The treasure you seek is hidden behind the sun in the house of a saint.
Interesting.
This travel, this road of death, this choice that you make, the death that chases you. Is it your death or somebody else's death? What is this thing that chases you? Why do you continue to absorb power? Are you gifted power? Do you take power? How does that work for your kind?
I am gifted power, but it comes with a price. And I don't rightly know how it works or when it's going to work or how powerfully it's going to work. Most of the time it does. And all I know is that I've got this anxiety like deep in the back of my brain that tells me that one day the bell's going to come due. And it's just this weird, it's like an itch in my head, but I can never scratch it. I know it's coming, but I don't know when or where or what it'll entail.
We go deeper into your mind. Go deeper into what you think is behind you, chasing you. Pull another card. Let's see what the fates have in front of you. Pull it over, flip it onto the table. Ah, interesting. The 8 of glyphs. This is a card of power and strength. It tells of a weapon of vengeance, a sword of sunlight. What you seek lies in a pile of treasure beyond a set of amber doors. She looks at the first card. Again, the 4 of stars. A card of knowledge. She looks at the second card yet again, the 1 of glyphs. Powerful force for good, a holy symbol, a treasure that might be found in the house of Saint. The sunspot, the 8 of glyphs, this idea that a powerful weapon of vengeance that may embody the very power of the sun itself, hidden behind a set of amber doors in a great treasure pile somewhere. And then she looks deeply at you. I would like to know what your greatest fear is, Gartham. If death chases you, and that sense of paranoia crawls at the back of your mind, and this power that sits out there at the edge of your horizon, what do you fear walking these roads?
I don't fear for myself. I fear that those with me will be hurt. Or worse.
Empathy from a creature that seeks so much power. These are dark lands for you indeed. Pull another card, Gartham. Let's see where these fates continue to take us.
Are we just going to keep pulling cards till we get one that's my doom and gloom?
You get 5 fates. This is your 4th fate.
All right.
And then you'll draw your final fate, the telling of your final story. As you draw and set the card down. Ah, interesting. King of Hearts. This card sheds light on one who will help you greatly in the battle against darkness. I see a fallen paladin of a fallen order of knights. He lingers like a ghost in a dead dragon's lair. To your fate.
Can you see his face? Is this someone that I know? It's not Zoof, is it?
Is Zoof a dead paladin?
I mean, I think he's a paladin. I don't know if he's dead or not. Doesn't look dead to me.
I kind of feel like Gartham would.
Kind.
I feel like Gartham would pull his scimitar and goes, "Would it be better if he was dead?"
He could be dead. You want him dead?
These are fates. This tarot is not about the unknown as much as it about what these fates are guiding you and give you guidance. Allow the people out there, allow the people on the road and the journey about you to fill in the details. That's how you'll know the truth of those that travel with you. Do they really have your best meaning at heart? Or are you just another path to power, glory, and the inevitable succumbing to his power, to Strahd's power? But your 5th and final fate awaits. But before this final fate, Gartham, what is your hope? What is your dream? Where do you see your power taking you?
I'm not sure I'm ready to share that one.
Ah, but the fates demand it. This final card could give you exactly what you need to know.
My hope is that I achieve a power that gives me, shall we say, enlightenment, so that I can make things right, the way I define them as right. And with that comes even more fear that I will succumb to that power and do wrong with it.
Draw your fated card, Gartham. Draw it. She gets a serious look on her face. She looks at the card. Jack of Diamonds. The Beast.
I fucking know it. Told you I'd draw no fucking cards and then you're going to tell me how I'm going to die. Fuck it.
Your enemy that you seek is a creature of darkness, whose powers are beyond mere mortality. I give you this final card. Take it with you. This card will lead you to this beast of darkness, and it will lead you to his dark throne that he sits on. But gather your will, gather your strength, gather your allies before making that final journey, Gartham. For if you arrive to face this beast without the power that these cards have shown you, you and your friends will surely fail. And the wizard that was here so many moons ago, that ignored my portents, called me crazy, said that I wasn't aware of what I was talking about. Now his companions lie dead in the cemeteries of Bonrovia. Those peasants that marched up the hill to do battle with Strahd, their undead bodies wander the bogs, the marshes, and the hills. And this wizard, nowhere to be found, nowhere to be known.
I'm going to give one more insight check just to see if I can tell just how crazy she is, or if this is legit.
Go for
it. That's a 4 plus 6 is a 10.
As they say in the 13th Warrior, she's obviously mad. She's the perfect advisor.
Okay. Well, then I take the 5th card.
And you feel the glow of it suddenly warm in your hand. And you feel this kind of like numbing sensation in your hand. And then you watch as the image of the card fades into the palm of your hand.
So is it now like tattooed, imprinted in my hand, or it's disappeared into my hand?
It's tattooed into the palm of your hand. And you feel this kind of magical awareness of it in your hand. And you feel a coldness that is out on the very edge of the valley somewhere. A sense, and now you feel it, what was out at the edge of nowhere. You suddenly feel a cold sensation staring down. Oh my God, your door keeps flapping.
I know,
open,
right?
And it creeps me out. I take it it's windy at home right now.
Yes, I got the door cracked and the wind is coming.
Like,
it actually freaked me out once. I'm like, ah!
And then you get the feeling that something very cold and very dark is watching this encampment. As you look up from your hand, you look across the table. She's gone. No longer sitting there at the table. And you watch as the candle slowly winks out.
Well, I go outside and I just sit there to collect my thoughts for a second. And then I go outside and to find Lucian and Ludolf and Zoof, but mostly Lucian.
Before you can get a chance to look for them, as you're taking those deep breaths and kind of processing what you were just told, Ismark kind of starts walking towards you. He's got 2 tankards, one in each hand. He's got this look of concern on his face as he stares at you and he goes, Gartham, are you all right? And he hands you a tankard. As he hands it to you, he takes a drink of his own tankard, kind of waiting for your response.
I'll be fine. I just met with, but I don't even know what you call her. The old broad in there.
I believe they call her Ava.
Oh,
Ava
that's
the
right.
Mad. What?
Yeah.
What did she have to say? You look like you kind of looked into the future and not really sure what you saw.
I'm used to portents and all that crap. I just bury it deep down and store it as stress. But yeah, she's a little creepy. I mean, is she? So tell me, is she truly mad, or is there some truth to what she? What
can one say about soothsayers? Their memories are of times long before this corrupt land. Their thoughts are towards both hope and fear. They trust in the superstitions of objects, but she does have a way with knowledge and understanding. It is said that the old wizard that paid her a visit and rebuffed her advice, and now he has disappeared and presumed to have failed because he rebuffed her advice. Many believe that to be very true.
Aye, and being in my line of business, I both know all of the tricks, but I also know when something's real, and she seems to be just a blathering, like she doesn't know what the fuck she's talking about. But a couple of things were spot on, and I got a shiver up my spine. I'm not afraid to admit. What was some of
the information she shared with me? Perhaps I can help.
We'll leave that for another time. The only information that can help us right now is the safest / quickest way to Valkyrie.
I understand. Well, Ludolf is over there by the fire singing with the Vitali.
Have you seen Lucian, by the way?
Lucian is comforting my sister. Helping her fall asleep was nearly a miracle. He is over there. Zoof is asleep over by the tree. Your friend, Eric the Cleric, seems to be quite on edge. He seems to wander the edge of the camp and keeping an eye out towards the darkness.
That's probably the best place for him because he's a little strange, but he's don't worry about him. All right, well, thank you, Ismark, and I'm gonna go see if I can have a chat with Lucian, and then probably call it a night.
Of course, I understand.
We'll pick up early.
He wanders off towards the fire, kind of joining in on Ludolf's kind of singing. He's doing his best. So
I approach Lucian, but I make sure not to disturb Ireena. Is she asleep?
She's sound asleep. Yeah.
Okay.
So I would say even at this point, Lucian, if you wanted to kind of like detach her and allow her to just kind of fall asleep on the pillows, it would free you up to be able to stand and speak with Gartham if you wanted to.
Lay her down. You're the cat. I'll stand up, gently step away, and do a mind meld with Gartham.
Do a mind meld.
Right. So I just had a discussion with old Ava there, and I've got to say it even creeped me out a bit. And I regale Lucian with what she had told me. I tell him, obviously we've got somewhat of a similar background, and I just feel like I can trust you. We've also got a similar line of work, so I thought it would be wise to share this info. But normally stuff like this doesn't get to me, but there were a couple of things that she said and a couple of things that she delved into that were...
So we'll say as you share the first, the card tells of history, knowledge of the ancient will help you better understand your enemy. I see a fallen house guarded by a great stone dragon. Look to the highest peak. Lucian, give me either a history or insight check on that one. And because Gartham is like detailing out what was said, you can have advantage on the roll.
All right,
Ludolf, give me a performance check if you would, please.
13, as good as I can get it.
While you may not know the name, the description of a place of heights sounds like maybe a bastion or tower that might be on a high peak. Perhaps this is an ancient library or an ancient place that has information that could better help you and Gartham and the others defeat whatever this creature is. But with not being familiar with the valley, you're not entirely sure where it would be. But you get the notion that it is definitely a tower or beacon. He then tells you the second card. This card tells of a powerful force for good and protection, a holy symbol of great hope. The treasure you seek is hidden behind the sun in the house of a saint. Give me religion or a history. What'd you get, Ludolf, for performance?
Oh, I got a 16.
Okay. Go ahead, Lucian.
27.
27. This one's pretty easy for you to decipher because even though you live in and out of dream states and other planes of existence, you know that this is describing what is obviously an abbey or a chapel or a church. It's probably also referring to a saint that would be connected to this abbey or church. You get the feeling that if you were to ask maybe a local at the village that you're going to, the village of Valkali, that maybe a local might know the location of this abbey. And clearly the idea of a treasure hidden behind the sun in this house denotes the idea that maybe something of power or something that may help in the upcoming battle might be hidden at this abbey. It's just the one thing is trying to figure out where this abbey is. But you're confident that you have enough information to ask around once you get to the village that you should be able to figure out the location of this abbey. Or at the very least, possibly research whatever information might be available at the village.
Got it.
Gartham then tells you of the third card. This is a card of power and strength. It tells of a weapon of vengeance, a sword of light. What you seek lies in a pile of treasure beyond the set of amber doors. Go ahead and give me history or religion on this one as well.
16 for history.
Yeah. Once again, this idea of a hidden treasure, similar to the one up above. But this sounds more like a temple, a place of worship, a place of homage. This sounds like a specific temple that has been sealed off for the sole purpose of protecting a very powerful relic that, according to the reading of this card, might be similar to something that even you have heard of during your travels. It is called the Sun Sword. And the reason why this is memorable to you is the Sun Sword is said to destroy creatures known as vampires.
Okay, very good.
Gartham then gives you a retelling of the fourth card. This card sheds light on one who will help you greatly in the battle against darkness. I see a fallen paladin of a fallen order of knights. He lingers like a ghost in a dead dragon's lair. Now, in this case, you can have history with advantage on this one. Sorry, with a lower DC, because Gartham's helping you. So this will be a low. You got to beat a 12 or higher on this one.
19.
19. You get the feeling that this card and the first card are connected. The first card tells of an understanding and knowledge, a beacon of hope, and possibly a beacon of faith to allow you to gain knowledge. But it also, in the card, it told of a stone dragon. This card tells of a fallen paladin in the lair of a dead dragon. The two feel linked. You get the feeling that if you can locate this beacon, find where this beacon is, and then find the dead dragon's lair, you may be able to actually locate this fallen paladin and seek their help. Maybe whoever they are, like this land, reeks of undead and creatures that are unable to move on to their resting place. Maybe there's something about this beacon, this place, that offers even more information, possibly even an ally that may help you in this fight.
Got it.
And then she fucking disappeared.
Well, no, the fifth card.
Oh, sorry. Hold that thought.
Yeah. Your enemy is a creature of darkness whose powers are beyond mortality. This card will lead you to him. Do you show him the palm of your hand, Gartham, at that point? Seeing the impression of the card in Gartham's hand, you get the feeling that Gartham is now a divining rod, like a tuning rod, that he will be able to, at some point, guide you directly to Castle Ravenloft itself, where the creature sits in a throne of darkness.
That way.
Ludolf,
And then she fucking disappeared.
Ludolf, as you're watching Lucian and Gartham over to one side having a conversation, Zoof is asleep. Eric is kind of watching the perimeter of the encampment. The brevity of the group and your just kind of natural ability to follow into their folklore singing, and because your performance is good enough to involve you in the folklore, there's a sense you're picking up parts of this folklore. And part of the singing is about a place that is called the Beacon of the Argarian Vasholt, an ancient temple and beacon of power that once belonged to the Order of the Silver Dragon, because they're singing about an order. They're singing about a silver dragon. They then kind of follow it up with the idea of a great paladin that led this order. This order, this paladin that goes by the name of Sir Godfrey Gwillem of the Argynfos Holt Order and the Order of the Silver Dragon. They talk about his incredible power and this great undead knight that lingers in this temple. And one of the female Vicale kind of begins to spin this ballad of a knight who has lost his way, a knight who has lost his order, his dragon. He sits forlorn in the bowels of an ancient place of honor, a beacon that calls out for the hope to bring this darkness to an end. It's almost as if they're retelling the telling of a retelling of a telling of a story that drifts in and out about this holy order of the Silver Dragon. But you get lost in the folklore, you get lost in the singing, and you find yourself dancing, drinking, and enjoying your place by the fire.
Awesome.
It is early evening. Late evening is beginning to approach. As all of you begin to settle into your routine of a long rest, is there anything anybody wants to do before settling into that long rest? So all of you drift off to sleep.
Can Lucian cast an alarm spell?
Absolutely. Kind of set it up around the
Okay.
perimeter of the area where you guys are. Because, like, you'll slip into your meditative state while everyone else kind of slips into their long rest state.
And
I think. Go ahead.
Sorry, Nocturne will be available to patrol in the darkness. The cat.
Okay. This cat wanders the perimeter of the encampment. Have Nocturne give me a perception check, if you would, please. Which is pretty much tied directly to your perception unless your cat has its own stat block.
Massive perception.
Well, a traditional perception check.
What's that die? Die what? Oh no, I see it. I got it. Hang on. There we go.
Okay.
19.
Boom.
Love it.
Good.
Good kitty.
There's a point where the cat is sitting up in the boughs and branches of a nearby tree. There, it's kind of sits watching and looking. And you watch, the cat watches as one of the Valaki who is sound asleep slowly begins to stir. And as he gets up, he walks over to one of the other Valaki that is asleep as well, nudges that one. The two of them kind of look at each other momentarily, one a female Valaki, the other a male. They look around, and the male Valaki looks at her. We hunt. We hunt. The female looks at all the sleeping forms. I don't think we should. We are not to tip our hands so soon. I am hungry. I hunt. The cat watches as the face begins to blur and turn into a face of a werewolf. Its body begins to transform, its fingers elongated and extended, and it silently slips off into the darkness of the night. The female sighs, looks around, sees no one's watching. She too transforms into a werewolf and slinks off into the darkness of the night. The cat waits and watches. You've taught Nocturne well. He knows that before he should ever wake you or concern you, that the beginning, the middle, and the end of things should be known. Missed opportunity is deadly, and purposely missed opportunity is the death of all wizards who can't craft the perfect familiar to keep an eye out all night long. Nocturne watches the edge. Nocturne's eyes turn into slits as they stare at the edge of the forest. He watches as the woman and man return, bathed in blood. They slip silently into the pool of water, and from there, they slip over back into where they were sleeping and fall off to sleep yet again. Nocturne looks at you in your sleeping form, and before he can mentally connect to you, an old woman comes out of the pavilion that Gartham had visited. She seems to be talking to herself, but Nocturne isn't close enough. Would you like Nocturne to get closer so that he could listen in?
Yes. In the dark, stealthy, cat-like.
Yeah, give me a stealth check with advantage. I would imagine Nocturne would have advantage for this.
19 or 17. So 19, yes.
19. There's a moment when Nocturne leaps from one branch to the other, to the other. You can hear the old crone's voice nattering to herself. As he gets closer, the words become obvious to Nocturne. I did what you said, Master. I gave them the riddles. I gave them the insights. If they follow what I said, they will easily unearth the tomb. And it will finally allow you to gain entrance to the tomb, and once and for all do away with that wretched Godfrey. For he is the only one that still stands in your way. Oh, I know, Master. I know. We keep our secrets. We keep them hidden. I understand. It's all in timing. It's all in the reveal. We'll see to it, Master. No harm shall become of them tonight. Not tonight. We will let them reach the village. We will let them learn where to go. Then, Master, then the dead will strike, and you will finally get your vengeance on the world. You will gather your wife to you. Godfrey will be dead. This place will be shrouded in permanent darkness, and the souls and the dead of the mill will never rise again. She looks around and then limps over to her pavilion and opens up the flap and tips back into the interior, pulling the pavilion flaps shut behind her.
See, that's why I never trust old women. Normally, I let my guard down one time, and now we're fucked.
With missing teeth.
At which point, Nocturne patiently goes over to where you're sleeping or where you're meditating. He curls up, stretches his legs and tail, sensing no immediate threat. He curls up, falls asleep, the expectation of telling you everything in the morning. So everyone go ahead and click off a long rest. All of you will wake up the following morning to an empty camp. There is a stone ring where the fire used to be. There are bits of trash and waste everywhere. Wagon wheels disappearing off into the dense undergrowth of the forest. No sign of any of the Valiki anywhere around. And
Did we drink that much last night? Did none of us fucking hear him leave? Either that or they roofied us.
Well,
Well, now
now we
I'm
know.
pissed. Now I'm upset.
At this point, Lucian, you make a mental connection with Nocturne, and everything that Nocturne saw begins to stream into your head. All of the imagery, all of the conversations, what he saw, you now have full knowledge of.
I will express it to the rest of the crew.
So everything that
detail.
Nocturne learned, all of you now have that information.
Well, that's fucking great. So everything she fucking told me is a lie?
Not a lie, just a purpose. We're following their path. They told us the key to solve this also, which is the paladin. But I'm not sure what.
But
I'm not
well, it
sure
doesn't
what.
sound like that. It sounds like all this is bunk, and a trap or a trap.
It's a trap. But we also know what solves the trap, the paladin, amongst other things.
So you believe that she was both telling us how to solve it and leading us into a trap?
Obviously, this is Strahd's wishes. Strahd wants to be rid of the paladin. And if he can get rid of the paladin, he is then free to act. Now, what exactly?
Of my enemy is my friend.
Right. what he said is that's actually brilliant. Well, if that's the case, then why don't we just go pay this Strahd a visit? Just walk up to his house and knock on the fucking door. All this sneaking about. I mean, if we're gonna end up there in the first place, why don't we save everybody a lot of hassle and headache? And the four of us just fucking hightail it there.
I think it's been tried with this wizard that we don't know his name yet. And it didn't work out well.
Aye, but we don't know who this guy was. I mean, he could have been an amateur.
True.
I'm not saying you're wrong, but all of this all of a sudden is just, it feels performative to me. Like,
It is.
you know, I mean, at this point, I feel like just confronting it.
Since we went through the gate, it's been performative. We're
Right.
following the path, clearly.
Right. So do we want to keep doing it like puppets, like marionettes, or do we just want to? Do we want to tell him that we've got we've got a good hand too, and just show up in his door, like I said?
Maybe we can turn his plan against them.
Okay.
You know, if these items truly do exist, and there truly is a paladin, we should find out what exactly he needs to free himself. And at least we'll know what we shouldn't make a mistake on.
And additionally, she also mentioned something about a tomb, opening up a tomb for him. Which, if he's a vampire, is I assume where he's takes his respite.
We can assume
All right.
that's
Well,
okay.
I agree with you. Probably better. You're right. Use it to our advantage. Turn it around and try to control the game. Sure, I'm in.
We'll need to know more.
So for now, we just continue to play along.
I think so. Let's go to the next village, and we'll see what we can gather at that point.
All right.
Keep in mind, the tomb that was mentioned was the tomb of Sir Godfrey.
He was the paladin.
Yes,
Right.
and that was the Nocturne overheard the old woman speak about once you guys figure out how to get into the tomb and reveal how to get to Godfrey, that the creature she was talking to would finally have his vengeance.
Oh, right. Yes. Okay.
So we're trying to, by getting to Godfrey, we would then inform Strahd how to get to him.
Possibly, yeah.
We
But then
don't
again,
know that she was talking to Strahd, though. Like, she was talking to somebody.
true. I mean, you're
True.
assuming it's Strahd.
Oh, I think it's a pretty safe assumption that it's him.
Or or somebody under his control, but it seems like this is a controlled hag or witch.
I would say, as all of you are awake listening to these stories and these commiserations, it's also quite possible that the Valiki are under Strahd's control as well.
That's what I thought.
Well, we're alive.
Yeah, because if he's trying to use us and string us along, why would he want to kill us? I mean, it's either he's got a purpose for us or he's just going to kill us. So, it makes sense that he would have left us alive if that is his goal.
And then we're his tool.
Aye.
We're his tool. Godfrey.
But it wouldn't surprise me one bit if this whole town was under his control, especially given what your cat overheard from the old hag, that bitch who tricked me. And I'm not easily trickable. Now I want vengeance. Damn it. But now, I think you're right, and I think that's a more sensible way to proceed. Flip it around. Right on him. Ludolf, what are your thoughts on the matter? What do you think?
we're on a quest to deliver Ireena to where she needs to go. That's what we should be doing. I think you're getting all mixed up because of this crazy bitch. And I think you got a really cool tattoo also.
Oh yeah,
It, you know.
thank you. And there you go, from the mouth of the simple and the wise, both
The mouth of
in
the
one.
simple and the wise.
Fuck it,
We also-
you're right. Let's not fucking think about it until we get her where she needs to be.
For some reason,
Now, my question
Strahd.
is: are you guys having this conversation in private, away from Ismark and Ireena at this point?
Well, I thought you said the whole camp got packed up and left.
Except for Ismark and Ireena and your friend.
Oh. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
we're not having this conversation near them. This
Okay,
is
so
quiet
this
between
is-
us.
Yeah, this is the 5 of you off to the
Yeah.
side having this conversation while Ireena and Ismark pack up their site.
Or at least the 3 of us at this
Yeah.
point.
Well,
yeah.
you'd want Zoof and everyone else involved
Yeah.
too. Zoof and-
Yeah. As long as it doesn't, as long as it's not, they don't see the 5 of us over there like, you know, and they're like, "What the fuck is up?" If we can do it, so it doesn't seem like we're discluding them from information, then
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
All right.
it seems like Strahd had the wife that's named something like Tatiana. And this Ireena is a proxy for the Tatiana.
I
Or
think
she said.
because didn't she say that he calls her that? He refers to her as Tatiana.
Yeah.
So he obviously thinks that is his reincarnated wife or whatnot.
Or something close enough.
Right. True. But
Also,
Doesn't
she
really
said
matter.
that God calls to the windmill. The
Yeah, I'm not
peasants
sure.
meant-
I'm not sure what this windmill thing is. Unless perhaps that's where this tomb is. And I guess this now will tell us whether we're right or not. This hand.
They told us not to go there, though.
Of
But
course they
then-
didn't.
They're pretty dodgy, too.
True, but that could be both them not legitimately wanting us to go there for some reason, or kind of feeding it into this folklore that they're telling us. Like, ooh, don't go there. We told you it's bad. We had your back.
Mhm.
And if so, do we go and get rid of Ireena first and then go to the windmill? Or go there along the path? Go to them now. If
I would just assume get rid of her and her brother sooner than
Yeah.
later. For a lot of reasons.
get rid of the baggage.
100%. That's
Zeus
just
like,
the way I see it.
well, yes, I must remind you that we did make an oath to safely guide her to the village, and I agree. As long as we safely get them to the village, our oath will be fulfilled. But I also feel that we should find this sword that was mentioned. I believe.
Oh, Zoof, I've got every intention of finding that sword. That was never in question. I'm not saying we're not going to walk into the trap. My whole point is just, are we going to let him know that it's a trap and that we're not that stupid? Or are we going to walk into it pretending to be that stupid and catch him unawares?
Well, we know that he scries on us. I mean, Ireena's paranoia tells me that to be quite valid.
Aye.
But I feel like the more we make him feel as if we don't know what's happening, the betterment we have and the better chance we have of a surprise. And I feel like she is forced, this creature, this soothsayer, is forced to tell us just enough to send us on the right path, to reveal these paths to this creature that she works for, and therefore offering this creature opportunity to complete whatever goals it may have. But that doesn't mean we have to go in order of the path. perhaps seeking the Sun Sword before we find this Godfrey offers better opportunity. And I, for one, am not overly miffed about the possibility of entering a dead dragon's lair. You know, dragon's lairs have the most important thing of all, treasure and wealth, of course. If we're going to make a go at this, we might as well get rich in the midst of doing it.
Zoof, that's the most un-you thing you've said yet since I've known you.
Well, it's not necessarily. I mean, you got to remember, I do have to commit to the fact that I did give my oath to safely get her to said village, the village of the Valaki. That's not to say that in the process of getting there, and once we're there, that we're not going to be subject to all manner of horror that is probably going to kill us anyways. We are tiptoeing on a knife's edge, I believe, is the saying.
True. All right. No, I'm just, hey, don't apologize for it. I actually respect you a little bit more now.
Just a little bit more. Don't you like my singing? He starts doing his religious chant, and Ludolf starts kind of like just sidestepping behind him.
All right, so then it seems like we're all in agreement to at least take care of our promise to get Ireena to Valkyrie.
Drive on to the town.
Aye.
And deliver the package.
Aye. And get rid of the responsibility of said package so that we can figure out what the fuck is really going on here.
And when we're in the town, we can ask locals about the location of the Sunsport.
There you go.
Suddenly, a howling wind begins to build, a sense of moisture on the very edge. The wind begins to diminish, and then clouds begin to roll into the valley. The sound of thunder kind of crackling once again in the background and in the horizon. Ismark and Ireena finish packing their bags, look over. Gentlemen, are we prepared for the day's march? I believe we should be able to reach the falls by this afternoon, and then hopefully the crossroads that will guide us to the village.
All right.
So we'll take the path.
The road, of course. It's the only one set before us, too. Wander, I believe, would be dangerous, but I understand. He seems like he's trying to figure out what you guys were over there talking about. Like, you get a feeling that he's like, you get the feeling like he's kind of doing his own insight check on all of you at this point.
We can say we all decided we were talking about the road versus the hills. And I think this nice, simple, observable path from the hill, from the mountain, is the one we should go on.
I still think you're wrong, but whatever, I'm outvoted, and I just put a little bit of like embellishment, like we actually were talking about this and we were arguing, and I lost out. So just to support that lie.
Gartham's, it's your supporting lie. Who's got the better deception?
Mine is +7.
Ooh.
I definitely feel like you'd be the better deception for sure.
All right. So is that with advantage then, because we're both kind of in on it, or are you just allowing it to be my perception instead of?
No, this is deception, not perception.
Yeah, that's what I meant. That's what I meant.
Yeah, deception. I mean, okay. I would say
I'm not fishing for advantage. I'm just legitimately.
No. I would say you have advantage because the others were helping. So, I definitely think that would give you advantage.
Okay.
On your
I just wanted to make sure. All right.
Because you're almost like finishing off the sentences of what all of them were saying.
No, it's a 16 and a 17, so that is 24.
24. Ismark nods. Oh, of course. Sticking to the road to the mountains. I understand. Well, if we reach the falls by this afternoon and the crossroads by this evening, we'll be less than half a day's journey to the village. Hopefully, at this point, not too many other things to get in our way. that point, you watch as Ismark begins to lead the way. Ireena looks at Ismark like she's seeing him for the first time. She's sensing a cowardness or a suspicion about him. She kind of lets it play out on her face, and she kind of walks over to where you are, Gartham, and Lucian and Ludolf are, and she takes out her sword and kind of lays it across her other forearm. I must admit, since leaving Bonrovia and being on this journey with all of you, I am hesitant to believe that my brother seeks my safety. He is the one that has been insisting on my journey to the Valaki. But I know that all of you are here discussing travels for the day, but I didn't feel quite right without mentioning the fact that these people last night, why the joy? Why the ease of being in such a dark place? The Bonrovians, yes, they are superstitious, but they are realists. They understand the nature of their situation. And ever since we left, I've been feeling myself drawn away from them, as if I am being pushed and pulled towards something that I fail to understand or grasp completely. But after a well-rested night, protected by Lucian and all of you, my thoughts turn. And at that point, a little bit of drizzle begins to kind of drop through the trees and canopy. She kind of puts her sword away, and she kind of brings her red cloak and her red hood up and over her face to kind of ward against the rain kind of drifting into her face. And, well, maybe it's me just being paranoid, but if the people are so happy traveling through a cursed valley, would make me wonder where their allegiance is.
Insight check.
Yeah, insight check.
And I'm specifically, I'm trying to gauge whether she's making this up or whether she's legitimate. It's not so much what she's saying, it is what she's not saying. Like, is she making this up, or is she legitimately like having
concerned?
these...
Yeah, is she actually concerned?
Yeah, so it's it's totally that. It's nothing to do with what she's actually saying.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
I get like a little closer to her, and I like put my arm around her, and I'm like, well, where do you want to go?
She just smiles at you, Ludolf, and pats your hand and pats your arm. I don't know. I just don't want to be in this valley anymore. I don't know. She seems to get slightly upset, but she grimaces her teeth and just gives a gentle kind of pat on your shoulder and kind of gives you a quick kind of like stroke along your cheek, Ludolf, and smiles and quickly breaks away from you and tries to catch up with her brother.
My insight check was a 10.
10?
Yeah.
Boy, difficult to read. Like,
I rolled a 4.
You definitely.
You know what? I'm gonna. Fuck.
You
I'm gonna use a
spend
luck
some
point.
resources.
Yes, I'm gonna use a luck point and re-roll that. I mean, I can't do worse than a 4, right? Watch this.
Watch this 3. Here it comes.
17. Okay, so that's
Nice.
That's a 23.
Yeah, kind of like delving into your dark magic and watching her separate from Ludolf and then race after her brother. You get the feeling that the calm of the previous evening, while it kind of reinvigorated her and settled her nerves, now that she's not like distracted by what has happened over the course of the last 2 days, she's free. Her thoughts are a little bit more liberated. Her thoughts are a little bit more kind of her own. And as she woke up this morning, you get the feeling that she definitely feels like something warrants her distrust. There is
So it was legitimate feelings.
more than that. It felt genuine. Like she felt like she.
That's what I meant. Yeah.
Yeah, like it felt like she was putting her trust at risk
Mhm.
by sharing these feelings with all of you.
Okay.
Which leaves the five of you kind of lingering in the back, watching Ismark off further ahead than Ireena, allowing you guys some space as you begin your day's journey. The five of you are kind of further back talking, while the two of them are up ahead, just kind of in the gloom of the rain and the thunder, kind of like, following the path.
And I will again then, given that distance, I will reiterate my thoughts on her, on how genuine she was in terms of what's going on here. So she's either being forced, or she's or she's being threatened, or she's somehow magically controlled or something.
Or it's a red herring for us to follow.
Or
Not a red, but it's
Right.
bringing up.
I'm pretty good at reading people, and if it is a red herring, she's a phenomenal con artist. I'll just say that. It's not out of the question, but she's good, if that's the case.
We have to protect her.
For now, yes, we
Before-
promise. We will. We're doing
no.
it. We will. That's job number one, Ludolf, was we're getting her where she needs to go. Right?
She needs us.
Promise you. But there's more to it going on here. Something's fishy. That's all I'm saying.
As the day's journey begins, the thunder rolling in the backdrop, this feeling of being watched feels more present. Feels more like, while you don't necessarily sense the magic or sense the idea of it, but as you delve deeper into this valley, as you get closer to the falls that are only a few miles up ahead, you can see the froth and the mist coming off the treetops in the background. And you can see that Ismark is now distancing himself from his sister, not more than maybe 15, 20 feet. Almost as if your insight, Gartham, tells you a sense of guilt, maybe. His demeanor is shifting. His demeanor is becoming more kind of being worn on the sleeve, as they say. While you don't sense an imminent threat, you do realize that the longer you travel this road, the more the emotions and feelings of betrayal are kind of burbling to the surface.
Okay. The two people that Lucian's cat saw, the two werewolves, was it them?
No, definitely was not them.
Oh, okay.
Definitely was
it
not
was
them.
just two people in the village.
Two
or
random
in the
Valiki that
caravan.
kind of woke, members of the caravan who kind of woke, succumbed to the hunger to feed, and then disappeared off into the forest to feed, and then come back and washed in the pool of the Tser.
Okay.
Of the Zir.
Can Lucian detect thoughts on him?
On Ismark?
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to do surface thoughts or deep thoughts?
Thoughts.
Okay.
Deep thoughts with Jack Handy.
Yeah, that will fail. That is an 8 plus 2 is a 10. You guys notice?
I'm gonna do guidance for him on that.
Guidance for what?
What did you
Roll.
what did you just?
He
roll
he
for?
cast detect thoughts.
Yeah. So
There's no check for him. I have to make a wisdom saving throw.
oh, ability. Okay, I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
Yeah,
Yep.
no worries. You guys watch as Lucian's robe kind of shimmers slightly. You watch as his eyes kind of get the same kind of light shimmer of energy that kind of courses over his robe. Get the feeling that he's subtle casting some kind of spell. He's focused on something. you enter into Ismark's mind, but you push through an emotional barrier of pain and rejection. You kind of push through this emotional kind of vitriol in Ismark's mind, this feeling of emotional betrayal. And you find yourself in the gray matter of Ismark. This overwhelming urge to run, this overwhelming urge to weep, this overwhelming urge. And over, you hear this mantra in his mind. The wheels, they turn. They grind the bones. They grind the bones. They grind the bones. The wheel, it turns.
Windmill.
They grind the bones. They grind the bones. The wheel, it turns. And there's this feeling as if this mantra is maintaining his sanity, his bare hold onto the reality that at some point he is to be tested and he's not entirely sure what he's going to do. And with that is where we will finish tonight, as we are on the road to the village, to the waterfalls, and eventually the crossroad
And
challenge.
And the windmill.
I am absolutely loving this module. I cannot believe there's going to be a new one for it out. I wish we would have done this one a long time ago. I can't wait to see what they do.
I'm so glad that I refuse to read any Strahd content.
There's
30
and
years, so I
you
can
know,
play it.
And this is short form, so it's designed.
Yeah.
We just did session 3 of 20 sessions, so it's designed to have that very conclusive feel.
Yeah.
Will you guys all live at the end? No idea. I literally have no way of knowing that. But the journey that you guys are taking is really challenging my sense of I don't want it to feel like a railroad. You know what I mean? I really want it to feel that, yes, I give you nudges and little implications that you're free to kind of enjoy and try to figure out what they mean.
Mhm.
And, do you go to the beacon first? Do you find this monastery first? What does Sir Godfrey really mean? So it's like, one of the things I like about the way they wrote this particular module is it doesn't feel like I have to be overbearing, because there's still enough choice and enough option in how you're learning about the eventual confrontation that you're probably going to have.
The little
with this creature.
The little bit of it that I've heard from people is just that it's very sandboxy.
Yes, of all the modules I've read so far, I had to make the when I did that campaign for a year and a half, the one with the wizard, the crazy wizard one, the madness one, was it?
Dungeon of the Mad Mage.
Yeah, Dungeon of the Mad Mage. I had to make a lot of changes to that module to make it make more sense to be what I tried to make it to be. And I was fearful I was going to have to do the same thing with this one. But they did a great job of creatively writing this one. That's why I'm eager to get a Fandelver table together. And I'm also eager to get that Adventures in Faerun table together. So those are my next 2 tables I'm focusing on for the next month, all of the remainder of May, to try to get those filled off the website. So you guys go ahead and linger so we can talk about the schedule in 2 weeks. Everybody else, stay safe, be kind. Thank you for coming out to watching, and don't forget, we will be back in 2 weeks. Don't forget to play a game. You guys go ahead and linger. We'll be so we talk about the schedule.